You know that feeling, right? You walk into a friend's house and it's just perfect, spotless. Not in a they just cleaned for company way, but in an it's always like this way. And you can't help but wonder, what is their secret? So let's get right into it. How do they do that? Is it some superhuman discipline? Do they just have way more free time than the rest of us? Or is there something deeper going on? Well, that's what we're going to unpack today, the actual psychology behind people who always seem to have a clean home. And here's the first big surprise, the first myth we've got to bust. It is not about having more willpower. People with consistently clean homes aren't just trying harder, they're literally thinking differently. They're running on a completely different psychological operating system. To understand that operating system, we have to start with what's happening up here in our brains. Because the link between your space and your mind, it's not just a nice idea, it's a hardwired neurological fact. A cluttered room is actively, physically draining your energy. The key idea here is a concept called cognitive load. The easiest way to think about it is like the RAM on your computer. It's your brain's available processing power, and you only have a finite amount of it at any given moment. Now, what's so fascinating is how your brain sees physical clutter. It doesn't just see a pile of laundry, it sees an uncompleted task. The mail, the dishes, the clothes on that chair. Each one is like an open tab in your brain's web browser, constantly pulling on your attention and draining that precious cognitive load. And look, this isn't just a theory. Researchers at Princeton University actually studied this. They found that physical clutter literally bombards your visual cortex, making it so much harder for your brain to focus and filter out information. So yes, your messy room is making you mentally exhausted. Okay, so if clutter is chaos, then it follows that order creates calm. And this taps into one of the most fundamental human needs we have, the desire for a little bit of control in our lives. I mean, think about it. So much of our lives feels chaotic, right? We can't control the traffic, the news, what our clients are going to want. It all creates this low-grade anxiety. But your home is your domain. It's one area of your life where you can create order out of chaos. In psychology, this idea is called your locus of control. It's basically about whether you feel like you're in the driver's seat of your life or just a passenger. And the more you believe your actions matter, the more internal your locus of control is, the more resilient and less stressed you tend to be. And this is exactly why a small, simple act of cleaning can have such a massive impact. Every time you make your bed or wipe down a counter, you're doing so much more than tidying. You're sending a direct message to your brain that says, hey, I am capable. I am in charge here. Now, this all builds up to what might be the real secret, the absolute key to this whole thing. It's not actually about the cleaning. It's about identity. This is such a powerful idea. At our core, we human beings have a deep-seated need to be consistent with the stories we tell ourselves about ourselves. Our actions almost always follow our beliefs about who we are. So, let's just play this out. Let's say, for your whole life, the story you've told yourself is, I'm just a messy person. It's just who I am. Well, what happens? You leave your jacket on the floor. You let the dishes pile up. Why? Because that's what a messy person does. Your actions constantly create more and more evidence to prove that your initial belief was right all along. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. But here is the most empowering news you will hear all day. That identity is not fixed. It's not set in stone. It's just built on a pile of evidence. And that means you can start building a new pile. Every tiny act of tidiness is like casting a vote for a new identity. I am the kind of person who takes care of their space. So, that's the why. And it's pretty motivating, right? But it's not enough. Now we have to get practical and talk about the how. Because if we want to build a new identity, we need consistent actions. We need a system. And let's be super clear about the goal here. The goal is not to get more discipline. Willpower is a finite resource. It's like a battery that runs out. The real goal, the sustainable goal, is automation. You want to get to a point where cleaning isn't a decision anymore. It's just what you do, like brushing your teeth. So, how long does that take? Well, science actually gives us a number to shoot for, and that number is 66. Yeah, a 2009 study found that on average, it takes about 66 days for a new behavior to go from feeling like a chore to feeling automatic. So the goal isn't to force yourself to clean forever, it's just to get through those first 2 months or so. So how do we make it through those 66 days? Here are 3 incredibly simple, practical steps. First, shrink the start.
It's way easier to wipe up a small spill than to scrub a stained counter. Catch messes when they're small. Second, use habit stacking. Attach a new tiny cleaning habit to something you already do every day. When you make your morning coffee, wipe down the counter. Simple. And third, please make it enjoyable. Put on your favorite music, listen to a great podcast. Don't frame it as a punishment.
Okay, so as we wrap up, I want to pull the lens back because this is about so much more than having a shiny kitchen floor. The way we care for our external world has a direct and profound effect on our internal world. Just let this one sink in for a second. Your home is a mirror. It reflects the standards you hold for yourself and what you believe you deserve. Taking care of your home is a way of telling your subconscious, I am worthy of peace. I am worthy of order. I am worthy of beauty. So I'm going to leave you with a simple challenge, a little experiment. For the next 7 days, just pick one and only one surface in your home. It could be your desk, your kitchen sink, whatever. And your only job is to keep that one spot perfectly clean every single day. That's it. Just notice how it makes you feel. Because our homes, our spaces, our clutter, it's never really neutral. It's always sending us a message about what's going on inside. So the final question I want to leave you with is this. Right now, in this moment, what is your home trying to tell you?